Right. Welcome. I am starting these Wednesday live shows. We are streaming into Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I love streaming services. This is just an incredible way. And for those of you who are entrepreneurs who are growing your business through video, through sharing your expertise or your stories or marketing messages, whatever it is, using a streaming service like this is incredible. Reach out to me if you would like to know my tips and tricks. So I wanted to kick off this series. I'm going to be bringing in several women entrepreneurs week after week. This is kind of like my mini version of a podcast, I guess. it's the commoner's version of a podcast. And I want them to be able to share their stories, how they have really taken their story, their passions, their experience, and have been able to turn that into a business concept or a business idea where they are helping serve a very specific niche of people in a very specific way. I'm seeing this literally play out in front of my eyes. And so I thought, you know what is a better way to start this series than to start with my own story and to share with you how I have gone from idea to reality in starting an online business. And if you have followed me for a while, you know that I have been in all sorts of businesses and have really leveraged the online space in order to grow them at varying levels of success. And really, I have been doing tremendous amounts of reflecting this year, especially as my husband and I have transitioned into a new season in our lives, been doing a lot of reflecting. And looking back, I'm really amazed at how each business opportunity and each experience I've had and each opportunity I've taken advantage of has really built on the last one and has led me not only to where I'm at today, but also has helped me to form a really significant vision for the future of what I want my business and Bobby and my business together to look like down the road. So I wanted to share my story with you because my hope is that it will debunk maybe some of the assumptions that you have about how hard it is to start an online business, or that maybe you aren't qualified to start an online business. And especially if you are a woman who is watching this and you are thinking, I would love to have something that is my own, that helps provide for my family, but also allows me to use my gifts, my skills, my passions, my story, then I want you to listen to this because I think that this will be particularly inspiring for you, and you are the person that I am speaking to today. So if we have not met yet, my name is Jody Barber, and I'm an Enneagram coach and sales strategist for women entrepreneurs. I did not start off in entrepreneurship doing any sort of coaching. And so this is part of my story a little bit that I'm going to share today with you. But if we are meeting for the first time, wherever you are finding this video, it is so good to have you here. And I hope that this inspires you, helps to get some of your brain juices flowing as to what is possible for you and what you could also be creating as an entrepreneur in the online space. So, shared my story here so many times, but I'm going to go back to the beginning again. My youngest daughter, Annie, is about to turn 7 this Friday. And I always associate Annie's birth with the mark of a tremendous amount of transition in our lives. My husband and I were ending an 11-year career in college ministry. It was a job that I loved dearly. It was a job that was very familiar and comfortable. And I kind of assumed that I would be in college ministry working as a spiritual mentor to college women for the rest of my life. But we definitely decided to pivot away from that. And when our youngest daughter was born, we also hit a what felt at the time like a financial crisis. We were okay. We have a massive safety net. But at the time, I had just had a baby, and she was my third baby. So I'd had 3 babies in less than 4 years. My husband, Bobby, was becoming a full-time pastor at a church. We were starting a church together, and our finances took a big hit. And so I remember sitting at the kitchen table and crunching all the numbers and realizing that we literally could not make ends meet with the salary that he was going to be bringing in that next year. And so Bobby said to me, he goes, I see these women who are at home with their kids selling things online. Is that ever something you would be interested in? And I have to tell you that some women might be offended by hearing that, but it was really encouraging to me that he wanted me to go kind of research some things and just see what is out there, because I love new opportunities. And I'm an Enneagram 8 wing 7. My wing 7 is basically as strong as my 8. So who knows? I think I flip back and forth pretty easily, but new opportunities, possibilities, having to figure things out, those are all things that really fill my cup. Trying new things. I love trying new things. I love a new adventure, a new strategy. And so it was really, to me, it was a challenge to go figure out, how do I close this income gap for my family? And online made sense because I could still stay home with the kids. I had no interest. I was 35 years old at the time. I had no interest in going and trying to find a job out there. My whole background had been in ministry. And so I really felt as though I didn't have skills to make me hireable out in corporate America or just out in the marketplace. And, but I'm like, if I find a product that's pretty good, surely I can find some people to buy it and I can make some money. I can make a few $100s a month, which for us at that time was a significant additional stream of income. So I entered the network marketing space and did really well. I was able to sell pretty significantly. Sales has always been something I've enjoyed. It's something that has come very naturally. And, I've had to develop skills over the years. And, of course, all of us are in a constant process of learning how to sell more effectively if you are in sales. But it is something that I've always enjoyed learning about and kind of figuring out, and how do I connect with people and how do I build trust and what does this look like? And so it was very easy for me to transition into the network marketing space. And you guys, that was such a huge pivotal time for me. I was meeting other women and men, but mostly women. And I was really seeing what was actually possible out there. So I was with my first company for a while, ended up joining a different company about 4 years into my entrepreneurial journey. And this company was a company that had been established as an e-commerce brand, very, very successful. And the owner was transitioning this company into the social selling network marketing space. So I was very intrigued by that. I was very intrigued by the idea of being one of the first ambassadors or brand partners with the company to actually launch the company. I love business. I love strategy. I love, new ideas and trying things and figuring things out. So this was a perfect opportunity for me to join up with. And I was all in. I gave my heart and soul to helping launch this company. And it was a phenomenal experience. Truly, I learned so much through that process of what does it take to really take a brand and get it off the ground? And then not only that, but the intricacies of network marketing and how you have sometimes thousands of people that are selling the exact same product and are all trying to differentiate themselves online. Because if you could buy the product from 35 different people, how do you choose which one you purchase from? And so this was all, it was something that I loved this season of having to really figure things out. Well, during this season, I actually ended up joining my first mastermind and coaching program. And I had never hired a coach before. I had never done a mastermind. I'd never done anything like that. And I think because I was having to, along with the other founding ambassadors of this company, having to figure things out and problem solve. And I'm like, I really understand why people hire experts to help them figure these things out. And so I joined this mastermind that was about a year long, and it was really eye-opening for me and what was out there. The mastermind had a lot of network marketers, but also people who had maybe started off in network marketing, but that had ended up creating other businesses as additional streams of revenue to their network marketing business. And then I was watching women who were developing different streams of income that all kind of fit together and were under the same umbrella brand. Like they, it was all part of their overarching brand, but they had different arms of their business. And this started to really intrigue me. And I'm like, oh, you mean I could like create different things and bring in different streams of revenue and it could look like this? And so this is when I just really started diving into understanding what was out there. And I did a lot of just, soul searching at this time. Like, what am I actually really passionate about? I knew that I was really passionate about women having opportunities and choices, and about women understanding what was available to them out there. Like, I had a couple of relationships in my life at the time of women who were working, full time and saying like, I don't know, like I want something that I can do from home, but I don't know what that looks like. And I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to create. And so a lot of things were, when I think back on that season, this was about 2 years ago, I think back on that season, a lot of things were falling into place for me internally that I didn't really realize. But it wasn't until, this was, probably the start of last year. It was probably January of 2022. Yeah, is that what today? Yeah, this 2023. So January of 2022, I really started to realize that I wanted to be able to create something that was my own, that I was the owner of. I have always been a champion and advocate for network marketing, as it is the lowest barrier entry for a woman who is looking to start generating a legitimate stream of income online. Network marketing has all sorts of, thoughts and opinions that people attach to it. But to this day, I have found no better opportunity for women to actually start generating income at the lowest cost possible and the lowest risk. So if you are someone who is like, I want to start generating income for my family, you need to go start researching network marketing companies, because that is going to give you the skills and experience, the sales and marketing. It's going to help you grow an audience and grow a brand on some level without having to invest tens of thousands of dollars into starting your brand new business. And you are going to be able to develop skills and experience through that will benefit whatever you decide to do down the road. So I will forever be an advocate for this industry. But at this point, I had, been in network marketing for over 6 years, or over 5 years at this point, 5.5 years. And I had just realized I love entrepreneurship. I was fully bought into the idea of creating a business that is mine, that is, where I am bringing in revenue for my family through this thing that I have created. I am not, beholden to a boss. There's other risk factors with this, but I'm not beholden to a boss. I'm not beholden to a company. Of course, during this time, the pandemic had happened, and a lot of people were experiencing insecurity in their jobs, whereas previously they had probably gone that route in their career because it promised security. And I was just seeing people get let go and their future being up in the air. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be able to create something that is mine, that I am the CEO. And in return, I take on full responsibility for that company. I don't want to be beholden to another CEO. I don't want to be beholden to another founder. I want to create something that Jody Barber owns. And so, and Bobby and I, we shared our story a couple of weeks ago on Good Friday. So if you want to look back through that video, we actually share our story kind of together of how we ended up in this entrepreneurial space and what we are doing together as coaches. But I'm just going to share my part of this right now, because I think for you as a woman especially, this will be really helpful for you. So I started to really think about, what is it that, like, what kind of business would I want to build? What am I really passionate about? I had gone through, a season where I was really passionate about holistic health. Still am so thankful for the knowledge and understanding and the insights that I gained during that time. And I still use all the products that I was promoting during that time. But so, I kind of went through that season where I'm like, maybe I would do something in the health coaching space. I'm really passionate about emotional health for women and really good boundaries. I'm very passionate about money mindset and women being able to really have a redeemed view of money in a way that is not on either end of the extreme. Not the worship of money, but also not the living as if money is evil. Like, what is the balance there? What's the in between? And so I kind of went through these different seasons of like, I'm really passionate about this. And this is something that I really care deeply about. But when I would go to bed at night and wake up in the morning, something that I started to realize, anytime I was in a conversation, or I was processing with Bobby, or I was just processing alone, the thing that I was consistently the most passionate about was helping women understand and be equipped to build a business of their own online. This has been the recurring theme. And as a result of that, to be able to experience what financial freedom means to them, because it means something different to everyone, for them to experience financial freedom and to be able to have choices. This is something I am very, very passionate about. Women making money, which can bring up lots of emotions, but like women making money, not for the sake of just making money, but for the sake of having options in their life and being able to leverage their skills, their passions, their stories, their experience, their personality to create a business that solves a problem that people are actually experiencing. And then also to be able to monetize that and bring in legitimate income for their family. And so I dove in, and I remember I went to an event. It was an online virtual event. Maybe this was in 2021, then in 2021. It was hosted by Jennifer Allwood, who's a business coach and someone I followed really closely. And she speaks to the faith community of women entrepreneurs. And I was a little bit skeptical of this virtual event that she hosted because anyway, I'm a woman of faith. My faith is deeply important to me, but that has not always been my lead foot in my business. And I have several reasons for that. But I attended this event, which was about 11 days long, and I think I paid $99 for the event. And I will never, ever forget these stories. And she was bringing in women. One lady had started a business in her retirement years. And so she had worked, I think, as an administrative assistant for a company for years and years and years. She had walked through a divorce. She had, raised her kids. Her sons were grown. And she was like, I'm just going to retire and hopefully have enough in retirement just to make ends meet. Well, her sons during that time were like, Mom, you really need to look into real estate investing because this is going to give you even more financial security as you enter retirement. And so she started really looking into what it would look like for her to buy properties and flip them and resell them and rental properties. And I don't even understand this world, but she ended up really figuring this out and having a natural gift for this. So then she created, she started having women that were coming to her and asking her for her help. Like, okay, like we see that you've developed some streams of income in real estate investing. Can you teach us what you did? And so she would, and then these women would go and they'd be able to do that. And it's like their worlds opened up, their options opened up. And so now she has created, I think she's in her 70s. Amazing. She has created a multi 7-figure business teaching women how to invest in real estate. Just incredible. And I'm like, what? And then I heard another story of this sweet grandma who was really amazing at making quilts and was making quilts and selling them or giving them away. And then she ended up creating quilt making courses that she put on YouTube and was able, as a grandmother and feeling completely technologically deficient, able to build a multi 6-figure business off of teaching people how to make quilts. This is incredible. I did not know that these opportunities were out there. So I was completely zoned in during this 11-day virtual event that literally only cost me $99 to be a part of. And that was when, between my coaches, between my mentors, between the programs that I had been in and the soul searching I was doing, and then really hearing these stories of other women entrepreneurs and what they had created at times of their life where people are like, why would you start this now? It was so inspiring to me. I will never forget that event. I need to send Jennifer Allwood a message. Maybe she'll watch my video someday, and let her know how life-changing that event was for me, because it opens my eyes to what was possible, especially in the online space. So I started turning around those questions to myself. I'm like, what skills do I have? What experience do I have? What certifications do I have? What education do I have? What knowledge do I have? What would it look like? What problems, between my skills, my passions, my experience, my story, my working with women for almost 2 decades as a spiritual mentor, leadership developer, what does it look like to take all of this and what problems can I help solve? I'm like, well, I'm really good at sales. I have a long track record of very, 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 very good sales. I'm like, well, how did I do that? Oh, and I've been coaching women in the network marketing space for 3 years. And what does that look like? How have they benefited from my coaching? So through the help of mentors, I did not figure this out. I had actually several mentors during this time. Through the help of mentors, but also just being able to really discover what my personal zones of genius were, I finally realized I love helping women find their unique voice online in order to sell their products and services. I love sales, and I know that sales is the only way that women can grow a business. You cannot grow a business unless you know how to sell. You just can't. Unless you get one client who sells it all for you, or you have people selling for you, then I guess you can grow a business. But someone has to be selling, whether it's you or a team of people, what it is that you provide, your product or your service. And I was seeing such a gap with not only network marketers, especially network marketers, but also women entrepreneurs in general, where they loved their product and their service. And they knew, like, they would light up talking about their product or their service, that when it came to actually having a sales conversation and inviting people to come invest in their product or service, that's when all the drama came up. And then I started looking at their actual businesses, and there was no sales process. There was no, here's how we attract people to us. Here's how we nurture those people that we've attracted in. And here's what it looks like to convert them into customers and clients. And for me, as someone who knows the Enneagram inside and out, I was like, the Enneagram, this is what I've used. And I had brought the Enneagram up so much in my coaching, and the women that I worked with, that I was just working with, just whether it was in my network marketing company or women from, other companies that were asking questions. And the Enneagram was such an essential piece to that, because I believe that if you don't really understand how you are uniquely wired, you are going to feel like you're throwing spaghetti on the wall. You're going to be looking to other people and trying to mimic what they're doing. And you are going to ultimately be left feeling inauthentic and stuck in your sales, or you're going to just bowl people over and you're just going to spam your Facebook friends list, your Instagram friends list, because that's all you've ever been taught. You're going to do scripts that someone else has written for you, and you are going to be spammy pammy, or you are going to just feel super inauthentic and fearful of talking to people. And it does not have to be that way. There is a middle ground that you can find if you're willing to do the hard work of understanding your own personality type and how you genuinely connect with other human beings, building trust, and ultimately inviting them to work with you. So that is where this whole idea was born last fall. It's like, this is it. This is what I want to help women do. It is helping women build businesses. It is helping women make money, which are two very important things to me. But it is zoned in on a very specific area that I see as a massive blind spot in so many women's businesses, and that is how to sell. And this is a skill that every human being can develop. There are not salespeople and non-salespeople. If you are an entrepreneur, you're a salesperson, whether you like it or not. It's just, are you willing to develop the skill set? So I wanted to share this with you. And some of the practical strategies that I used, one thing that I started doing, like literally got my first client just by telling people. I'm like, hey, I'm doing coaching now, coaching women entrepreneurs. I want to help women entrepreneurs build businesses that feel authentic to them, that align with their personality type. That's how I was able to get started. And then over time, and this is something the first client that I ever worked with, super special. She just graduated from coaching with me actually recently. And we were kind of reminiscing over this. And I'm like, you were my guinea pig. And I said, I didn't know a lot of the things that I was going to end up really honing in on in my coaching when I started working with you. And I'm so glad that she trusted me enough to start working with me, even though I did not have all my I's dotted and all my T's crossed, because really it was through working with clients and through trying different offers and, I really think I could help women in this way. And so I'm going to offer it this way, and I'm going to offer it at this price point. That is where I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, oh, I know precisely how I help women entrepreneurs. I help women entrepreneurs develop a sales process that is unique and aligned to their personalities so they can sell more confidently, authentically, and effectively online. That's what I do. And I use the Enneagram. And so I know who my ideal clients are. I know who my not ideal clients are. And there's no drama around it. But it took really doing quite a bit of soul searching and asking a lot of people questions. I did a tremendous amount of target market research. I had friends and families speaking into this. I had, people like, what do you see in me? Like, where do you see me thriving? How have you experienced me as a coach, or how have you experienced me as a mentor in your life? I even went back to some of the women that when they were college students, I was their mentor in college. I was like, hey, can I ask you some questions about how you've experienced me as a leader in your life? And all of that really helped to inform and bring me to the place where I'm at right now, where I have tremendous amounts of clarity and traction in my business. And so I wanted to encourage you with this, especially if you are a woman who is in your first 1 to 3 years of business and you're kind of like on the hamster wheel of all the things, not really sure, is this going to take off? Am I going to get traction? Is anyone, I've gotten some sales, but is this ever going to turn into anything that's going to allow me to really hit my financial goals and the goals that I have for my life and for my family? Or maybe you're a woman who has thought like, I would be really interested in starting a business and leveraging the online space, but I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what that looks like. I want to invite you. I have a private online community that I have very affectionately named the Enneapreneur. And it is a place where I do weekly trainings around all things entrepreneurship related. And I train a lot through the lens of the Enneagram and your unique personality type. I also, in this community, I'm going to be hosting a masterclass next week. And if you are someone who has a business in your first 1 to 3 years of business, or you are interested in starting a business, but you're not really sure what that looks like, I would love to invite you to join this masterclass. I'm going to drop both links below in all 3 places where this is streaming, where you can join the Facebook community and also sign up for this free 3-day masterclass that I'm going to be hosting. We're going to be looking at your personality type, your selling strengths. We're going to talk about what a sales process is. We're going to talk about how you can get more visible and grow your audience. And even if you don't have a business that you've gotten off the ground yet, or you're kind of still in the idea phase, I'm going to be giving lots of examples during this masterclass, and you just never know. You never know what ideas are going to be sparked as you're coming to this masterclass. So we would love to invite you to join this. And also, one thing I just want to leave with you here. If you are curious, if you've even just had a little bit of an inkling that you would want to start a business and you're not really sure and you feel kind of like an imposter and you feel kind of scared when you say it out loud, but you've been secretly thinking about it, or you see other women building businesses online and you're like, there's something about that really intrigues me. I want to say to you, don't ignore it. Don't. Go find a coach. Go find a mentor. Go talk to a trusted friend who knows you well, who also is in your corner, and run these ideas by them. You just never know. I think that you will be blown away as you give it breathing room and let this idea kind of ruminate, and don't just push it away, or not just say, ugh, I could never do anything like that, or, oh, the online space is so saturated. It is not. This is not going away. I believe that for any woman who wants it, she has a business in her that is just waiting to be unlocked. But you can't do it by yourself. So don't press down the idea. Don't ignore it. Go tell someone about it. Go give it some breathing room. Go, do a brain dump and write down, just, if I could start a business, let's just say there's no limits. Let's just say anything's possible. What would it be? And just see what ideas come out on paper. I'm so excited for you. And if you're a woman who's interested in any of these topics that I've talked about, join the Enneapreneur community. It is for women who have started businesses, who have not yet started businesses, but are interested in seeing what it would look like to leverage building a business on the online space and owning something that is 100% yours, that could give you choices and options in life that maybe you didn't previously have. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. And I will be back next week. Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern is when I have my live show on these 3 platforms. And I'm going to be bringing some really cool guests. I have them starting to sign up now. I'm really excited to introduce them to you. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Thanks for tuning in.